So today is day 5 of my daily video. So I'm going to make a daily video just sharing my thoughts for the next 4 years for this whole current administration. And it's to just start conversations and to have, respectful discussions, to hear different viewpoints because, I'm curious. And I think that we have a lot more in common. We're driven by extremes. And I think I'll be talking about that in future videos. So I'm putting this on Facebook, TikTok, and on YouTube under Juju of the Tutu Tribe. So today's topic is DEI. And I just did a video and it was way too long, because I was talking about all of DEI. So first of all, what is DEI? I know it's a real trigger. It was the first thing on the current administration on day 1, executive order, stop DEI for federal agencies. So I'm going to talk about that. I'm going to break this up into 2 videos, I think, because obviously it was way too long. So DEI, diversity, equity, and inclusion. So if you think about those words, are those really threatening words to you? Diversity, equity, and inclusion? You think those are bad things in your life? You don't like to see diversity or equity? You don't like to be treated equitably? And you like to be excluded? Just, curious. So today I'm just going to talk about diversity to start off because it got too long when I talked about equity. So tomorrow I'm going to talk about equity and inclusion. So diversity. From my reading, what I've discovered is that diversity in the workplace, if you have diverse teams, studies have actually shown that they're more effective and nimbler than teams that are not diverse. And the reason for that is if everyone is exactly on the same page, you're not going to have that creativity and you're not going to have someone saying, well, I don't really agree with that. What about this? And that's where things are built off the idea, bringing in outside ideas, and then we talk about that, and then we add this, and then we do this. So it's actually better to have a diverse team, and studies have actually shown this. I liked, and I don't remember where I read this is not my idea, but it really made sense to me. And that's like, if you're in this, blessed enough to have enough money to be in the stock market, you're going to want a diverse portfolio. That is your goal. You don't want all bonds. You don't want all wildly high risky stocks, nor do you want it completely safe. You want it spread out into different kinds. You don't want just US. You want international. You want a nice mixture. What you want is diversity. So there again, diversity brings strength. So I really liked that example. Now I'm going to talk about diversity in the workplace. I've been retired for 8 years. Thankfully, I am really enjoying my retirement, which is why I could have time to do videos like this. So diversity. I was working during the time of, I'm getting affirmative action. Now, these videos are unedited, and so, and I'm having senior moments, so I'm going to forget words, and, I'm not an expert in any of this. I just do a lot of reading, and I base it on my experiences, and I'm interested to hear what other people have to say. All right, so affirmative action. Here's an example. I was young, and I'd worked at UC Santa Cruz in the library for several years. And at that time, we had affirmative action, and we also had, through the union, internal candidates were given priority if, they were equally qualified. So those are the 2 things that might get you a leg up. And I had a position that I was really excited about. I'd worked there. I'd worked hard. I had a good reputation. This job was perfect for me. And I felt very entitled to it. Like, I'm the inside candidate. This is a piece of cake. I'm going to get this. And then I didn't get the job. And I found out, it's a Black woman, an affirmative action candidate I just have to meet her. That's not fair. This was my job. And shortly after that, I did meet her. And by the end of the evening, I was really happy that they had made the choice that they did, because she was extremely qualified, and she brought a lot to the organization that it needed. We also became very close friends. We worked together for another 10 years. And we became travel companions and one of my closest friends. But the point is, there I was feeling so entitled and feeling like, without knowing anything about the other person. So I think that that's something that happens. You're assuming that because someone is DEI, they're not qualified. And that's not true. Now, there could be candidates in DEI that are not qualified, but you know what? There's a lot of white candidates that aren't qualified, white men and white women. But if you look at the structure, that we have, I think that, we do have DEI for, white men, but that's the thought. Maybe not completely true, but I'm putting it out there. And I am always, if I'm wrong, I'm interested in hearing your perspective, and I'm keeping an open mind. So this woman came to the organization. She was there for years. She brought a lot of strength to this organization. She was so beloved, and she had such an impact on so many people. And you know what? She didn't get the promotions that other white people got. She was not treated in the same way, even though she was working harder and brought more to the organization. And she didn't, call the race card. She didn't, speak up. But the other thing that she brought, and I think all of the hires that I brought through affirmative action, is visibility. So when she was working the circulation desk, and there are Black students at UCSC, the few that there are, it's, when you see yourself, and that's one of the things, being white, we're so used to everybody is white. And so, so you can do whatever you want. But I've never, if I'd never seen a white person doing a job, I wouldn't think that, maybe that's not, maybe I couldn't do that. So I think that, just representation is important. I think so. Then I went on to be a manager for 23 years. And I did a lot of hiring over those 23 years with affirmative action. And the idea of affirmative action was that if you had equally qualified candidate, then you would choose the affirmative action. So it's not that you would have people that were unqualified and getting the jobs over these qualified people. That's not how it worked. And I saw that people did bring. Having a diverse department made us a stronger department. So in the hiring training, we all like to have people like us. It's very common when you're hiring people like you that you're going to feel comfortable with. Who's going to fit in here? Who's going to be a good part of the team and fit in and work with us? When actually what we need is maybe someone who doesn't fit in. And maybe we get to expand our conception of, and have someone who brings in different ideas. And I think that that is the threat that we have right now in our government. And this is bringing it broader to the concept of democracy, is that if we just have yes men in key positions that are loyal to someone, but who are not willing to stand up, if politicians aren't willing to stand up to their values and their beliefs, they are not serving the American people. And I'm an American citizen, and I need to be served under every administration. So I'm looking for an administration that is working for my goods. So there goes the timer. This time I'm not going to go over. So those are just some initial thoughts. Please put your ideas and reactions in the comments. I am Juju. I'm going to stop that. I am Juju, unfiltered, unscripted, unedited, just giving you some thoughts. Lead with love.